Hi, welcome to another episode of Botox and Burpees. In this episode, we're going to talk about the future of CrossFit and Rich Froning and Mayhem Nation. Recently, CrossFit Mayhem and Rich Froning have made some big moves in the CrossFit space. So this episode breaks down some of what he said and some speculation on what could happen as a result. I recorded my hot take about Rich Froning and Jason Khalipa joining forces a little while ago, and most recently, just to update the news, Rich Froning was on the Savan podcast recently, going a little bit more into detail about his thoughts about CrossFit and what his plans are. You'll hear me talk a little bit about Austin Malleolo, CrossFit Mayhem's new hire, as well as their shift of focus to provide more support and tools for affiliates. One of the more interesting terms that Savan used when talking with Rich Froning was fitness homesteading, which he used to describe Mayhem's strategy. He stated while Rich Froning believes the community is better under the CrossFit banner, Savan suggested that Froning was building infrastructure like digging a well or installing a generator to ensure that Mayhem and their fellow affiliates were self-reliant and secure if CrossFit HQ were to collapse, face bankruptcy, or otherwise fade into oblivion. Now, whether or not that's true or not, certainly we'll discuss what Rich Froning's moves as well as CrossFit Mayhem's moves are and what that entails in terms of CrossFit HQ's future prognosis, so to say. One of the things that I think CrossFit HQ has as its greatest weapon or tool or asset is really the CrossFit Open and the CrossFit Games. And Rich Froning did emphasize the importance of the Open for building consistency and momentum for CrossFit affiliates as well as for athletes. He praised the return of the CrossFit quarterfinals, noting that it gave everyday athletes a tangible next step to aim for, and it made the season feel more of a competition to the broader community. And when asked about the potential sale of CrossFit, Rich Froning admitted he thought it would have been sold by now. He compared the situation to overinvesting in a used car and being unable to sell it for its desired price. And ultimately, he said he stopped trying to figure out what's going on and just focusing on what he can control. And so you'll see this episode talking about all the moves that he's made, along with Jason Khalipa and his partners, including Austin Malleolo. As someone who has invested in a CrossFit affiliate myself, my partners and I often discuss what is the value of CrossFit HQ? What can they do to do better for our affiliates? And what services do they provide that would be of greatest value for us as a gym? And it's a pretty complicated situation, and we have a lot of discussion about this. I hope that this episode sheds some light on what some big players in the space are doing and what that might mean for the future. Thank you very much. So, as we know, at the beginning of 2026, CrossFit HQ has been on sale for quite some time, for the past year. At this time, there have been no buyers announced, and Rich Froning himself was rumored to have been approached, but to decline the opportunity. So, what has Rich Froning been up to over the past couple months? Mayhem Nation, the fitness empire that the four-time CrossFit champion has built, has been making some substantial moves lately over the past couple months. Moves that could potentially affect both CrossFit HQ as well as affiliates as a whole. So let's talk a little bit about these moves and unpack them. Recent episodes of Rich Froning's podcast, as well as some public announcements, have shown Mayhem Nation's plans in terms of their short and long-term expansion, their growth of their training platform, as well as support for affiliates. One of the biggest recent announcements is that Rich Froning announced a collaboration with 2008 CrossFit Games champion Jason Khalipa and his company NC Fit, where they aim to combine platforms, knowledge, and resources to support gym owners and coaches. This is not a formal merger, but a partnership born from realizing that, quote, there's a need for more cohesion and more help, and that gym owners need help. Both Froning and Khalipa, along with Mayhem Nation's recent hire, Austin Malleolo, who was a CrossFit HQ stalwart and former senior director of strategy and operations, are uniting their expertise so that quote, affiliate owners can gain access to proven business tools, systems, and programming from both the Mayhem and NC Fit playbooks. Mayhem has created a Mayhem affiliate programming platform with daily class workouts, lesson plans, and more, so that any gym can use these tools regardless of whether they are affiliated formally with CrossFit or not, as long as they become a Mayhem affiliate. Austin Malleolo, who left CrossFit HQ in September 2025 and is now the VP of Mayhem Gyms, is spearheading this build out of what he calls, quote, the Mayhem community of athletes, members, coaches, and specifically Mayhem gyms. In practical terms, the short-term plan is to onboard more gyms into the Mayhem affiliate program, enhance their content, including class programming and coaching development, and to host events such as gym owner training weekends to share best practices, something Mayhem has already started calling them, quote, gym development workshops. They are also planning an updated platform for 2026 to consolidate their programming, class planning, and coach education, which is more evidence that Mayhem Nation is immediately pushing to deliver more value to their affiliate gym owners. And in the long term, Mayhem Nation appears to be building a global network of gyms. They are also partnering with Best Hour of Their Day, including coach development programs, refining class management, and improving teaching skills. But rather than franchising in a traditional sense, they are forming more of an alliance of gyms that share resources and standards. And their vision is that a gym owner anywhere in the world, for a fee, of course, can tap into Mayhem's programming, business systems, mentorship, and be connected to a like-minded community, which, if you've been part of a CrossFit gym, sounds kind of familiar. And in Jason Khalipa's words, this is, quote, for gym owners, coaches, and the community. This is going to be nothing but a value add over the next number of years. And let's face it, Mayhem's media and merchandising seems to be vastly more successful than CrossFit HQ's own efforts in recent years. The Rich Froning podcast, the YouTube channel content, which includes workout videos, behind the scenes videos, athlete video logs, and social media have all generated substantial engagement for Mayhem, which in turn feeds into their programs. And their merchandising has been very successful. Their apparel is listed under the Mayhem Nation brand, and that's been sold to fans worldwide, which further extends Mayhem Nation's reach. This is something where Mayhem Nation has taken a page directly from CrossFit's playbook. At this point, an athlete might watch a free Mayhem YouTube video, buy a Mayhem t-shirt, follow Mayhem athlete programming, and then maybe convince their gym owner to follow affiliate programming. It becomes a cohesive ecosystem where every part of Mayhem Nation's brand reinforces the other. So what does Rich Froning and Mayhem Nation's success right now say about CrossFit HQ and their own efforts? Well, I think Mayhem now sees an opportunity or a need, depending on how you want to call it, where affiliates need and want support. Support that CrossFit HQ has not been sufficiently providing. Mayhem looks to do what CrossFit HQ has attempted and failed to do recently, which is provide value for being an affiliate and for paying an affiliate fee. Mayhem's end product has been a one-stop solution. As a gym owner, you can subscribe and receive daily workout plans, which are scalable, beyond the whiteboard integration for tracking programs, session plans for coaches through Best Hour of Their Day, education library, and expert consulting on gym operations. In essence, Mayhem Nation is building an alternate affiliate support system that parallels what CrossFit HQ historically has offered, but now with star power and experience of CrossFit legends, including Rich Froning behind it. We know that CrossFit HQ has been hemorrhaging affiliates for the past few years, and if Mayhem captures even a moderate portion of these affiliates, they will be positioned not only to compete with CrossFit HQ, but perhaps surpass them as the premier gym affiliation company for CrossFit and for functional fitness gyms worldwide. Online, some affiliate owners have literally said, quote, if I could pay Mayhem $1,000 a year instead of $4,500 a year to CrossFit, I would consider dropping my CrossFit affiliation. HQ must recognize that its value proposition to gym owners is being challenged. Mayhem is effectively doing what CrossFit HQ should be doing, providing programming, business mentorship, continuing education, and community. And their social media and their marketing has certainly been more successful, in my opinion, than their own. The burden now for 2026 is on CrossFit HQ to either partner with or differentiate themselves what they offer to affiliates as well as athletes in the CrossFit and functional gym space. Now, this is just scratching the surface of what Mayhem Nation is doing, what CrossFit HQ could or should do in 2026. And we haven't talked really about some of the assets that CrossFit HQ has, which they have not, I think, seem to have leveraged in the best way possible, including the CrossFit Open, the CrossFit Games. There are so many diehards out there, including probably Rich Froning himself, who would say that both CrossFit and Mayhem Nation can coexist, be symbiotic, grow together, and make the sport of CrossFit as well as the methodology of CrossFit better. But I'd like to hear from you. So let me know what your thoughts are, and we can dig into this a little bit more. Thank you very much.